Mason Rudolph is stylistically similar to Joe Burrow. I know, right? Crazy take. It threw a few mouth breathers in a frenzy on Twitter a couple days ago. When I say that, I'm not saying that he's identical to Joe Burrow. I'm just saying the way that they play football, decision making, certain skills are very similar. Ball placement, touch, accuracy, the ways that Joe Burrow separates himself, leadership, a lot of intangibles. He can make throws that Mason Rudolph can't overall. His improv skills are better than Mason's. But when it comes to, once again, ball placement, accuracy, throws, tight window decisions, very similar. For reasons other than pure market value and being one of the best backup quarterbacks remaining in free agency, you can see why former Bengals offensive coordinator Brian Callahan wanted to sign him to the Titans. Now, a lot of people just started watching tape when Mason Rudolph was drafted, so they aren't familiar with his game. But at Oklahoma State, he was balling with his boy, James Washington. This is a video basically explaining verbally, putting it on wax, that if he has to play longer than a few series or half a game or 3 quarters, he's more than capable of putting up high-end numbers. Not just, oh, he can get us over the hump numbers, but within that system, he can put up starter level numbers. He also had an argument of being the best quarterback on those Steelers teams the past couple seasons. The only reason why he wasn't starting was because the investment of Kenny Pickett and mobility. That's one of his few weaknesses. And another hot take, he could have won some of those games that Ben Roethlisberger couldn't in the past. Now let's get to a few plays that exemplifies what I've been talking about. A lot of you have already seen him do things like this by watching the Dolphins tape. But this is just a simple concept where you got the running back occupying space below, and then you have someone sitting underneath. What I love about this play is there's someone beating down on him. He's going to get hit underneath the chin, but he's still going to laser it to this wide receiver over here. Now, he could have taken this underneath, but it's also a risk that this defender closes that gap. But what this shows is he's not afraid to make throws over the middle. And a lot of quarterbacks are scared to make that throw. They also can't properly throw the correct type of ball to this player. As you can see, he's going to take this hit right here, and he's going to throw this pass right beyond that defender into the outside shoulder of that wide receiver. So remember when I talked about him having a few weaknesses? I wasn't being facetious. Sometimes he does stare down receivers, but look how he adjusts that tendency versus this defense and finds a big play downfield. Right now, he's manipulating the safeties by targeting someone underneath, but he's really targeting the backside post for a big play against one of the best defenses in the league. Watch him absolutely drill this throw for a touchdown. Big time. Another supposed weakness that has been said about Mason Rudolph is that he's a check down Charlie. All that's saying is that he's not aggressive enough downfield and he just checks it down to his running backs and tight ends all day. This is one play, but tell me who's open on these routes. So with that being said, this play right here is definitely the correct option. I would argue that more quarterbacks should come back to their check down options like running backs and tight ends. And this play in the playoffs is a perfect example of that. Mason is going to break a tackle within the pocket and then alertly finds the tight end option to his left and picks up a first down. I don't want to make this video too long, but we're going to highlight his penchant to be accurate and on time with in-breaking throws. Here in the playoff game versus the Buffalo Bills, you see he notices the off coverage and he hits Deontay Johnson in stride for a touchdown. Pace, placement. Here we're going to have 2 in-breaking routes. A lot of times young quarterbacks or quarterbacks that haven't had much time on task, they're scared to make these throws. Watch out on pace, on time. He places that ball. Could have been a little bit more in front, but still, a lot of quarterbacks do not make that throw. And it's not that they physically cannot make the throw. It's that underneath defender makes you have to make a different type of throw, whether it be layered or right on time. A lot of young quarterbacks will turn that down to find something else, to wait for him to clear or something like that. They do not make that throw because they're scared. And I use that scared word loosely here, right? It's just because, younger quarterbacks, less experienced quarterbacks, they may think the defender will tip it or they don't have the layered throw in their bag or arsenal of throws, and they much rather want to clearly see the throw before they attempt to make the throw. Like I said, overall, I'm not saying that Mason Rudolph is a world beater. All I'm saying is that I think most people don't know his true ceiling. And yeah, it may be a career backup to you all, but I don't think he's had enough fair chances at starter to really show what he can do.